Well, I say this all the time. I don't think, especially black women, I don't think black women really understand how powerful your words are, right? Because let's think about it. Most of the most influential things that even men will say, they got these little funny little things from Instagram from black women. Like period, like it's giving, like so many lines strictly from black women that have permeated the globe that people will say all over the world. And I say this all the time, like I can't say it enough. If black women really understood the power of their words and the effect that it has, you would be able to speak to the situations that you see from these damaged community of men, and you would be able to help build bridges to create the atmosphere that you guys are quote unquote want to feel safe in. Because like oftentimes we think about how we're always told that women mature faster than men, right? But yet, when you put these women through the test, you figure out that they're not as mature as what you think that they are. And we sometimes, when we're younger, because we think that women are so much smarter than men, we kind of put our trust in them in a very different way than when we get older. So I think it's really hard to really impact the nation the way that we really want to without women changing the way that they talk. Because even if men are talking in the right tone, we're talking with tact, we're trying to be understanding and all of these other things, women will hear the message and be like, okay, the message makes sense, but it still doesn't necessarily change their behavior. All you heard was something that made sense to you, that sound nice, but you're not going to change your behavior. And that sometimes is the reason why I kind of get upset when we have these conversations talking about, oh man, we need to change how we talk and stuff like that. All that does is, in my mind, from what I've seen, it just makes you hear it, but you just hear the information, but you don't do anything with the information. You're going to go to your relationships, you're going to go to your friends, you can go to your situations, speak the exact same way, and nothing really changes. So I'm more inclined to just say things a little bit more direct with somewhat tactfulness, but I just really don't think that men I don't think men's words are as powerful as women's words sometimes. And I think that what people really value from men is our image and the stuff that we do. Now, of course, especially when your father says stuff like that, it's very powerful. Or like men that's in your life that you respect and you trust is powerful. But there's just something different. Like there's a reason why your grandma, your great grandma, and your mama, and when she says something, it make you act completely different than when your dad says something sometimes. And I just strongly believe, as much as men are leaders and men are one of the main things that need to get right for the rest of the nation to get okay, there's got to be a strong shift in a lot of women's speech to really get to the relationships and the environments and the communities that you will feel more comfortable and safe in my opinion.
It was two things that you said. First thing I'm gonna pick up where you set off about women's words. I think that's the difference with superpower. I think women's superpower is their how they speak, but men's superpower is their action. And I think that's where we get off. Women to see action that don't align with what they want or need, and then their words match that action. But when men are moving in a way that is in alignment with what she needs, you will see that her words will match that same thing. Even I noticed that. Like My husband overheard me talking on the phone with my sisters, and of course, we were all like talking about our husbands and what this husband do, what this husband don't do, whatever. And so one of them had asked me, like, do like the stuff that he do seem like a big deal now? And I was like, nah, not hearing after y'all, like hearing the stuff y'all saying about your husbands. I'm good over here. Like it doesn't seem as bad or whatever, right? And so him like hearing some of this stuff, he took it upon himself to do something that I had asked him to do a while ago. But when he was hearing my sisters talk about stuff, he just got up and he did it. And sent me a text, this morning, like, oh, by the way, I did da 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 da. And it got such a reaction from me that was so like, babe, thank you. I appreciate you. Like, I think if we know how to put those things, work in tandem. We see as women, we see your action. Those actions are going to make us speak more positive to you, right? And then it's just a cycle that keeps repeating and everybody benefits. But what happens is y'all might be waiting. I think we might be waiting for the other person to initiate certain things. So as a man, you might be waiting for us to initiate and speak positivity into y'all to get y'all moving. But as a woman, we're looking for action to get us to move a certain way. And I think that's where we probably bump heads. So if we both recognize our superpower, yours is your action, and based on your action, you'll get us to move with our words. And if we recognize that our words hold so much power, then we should use our words to help support and uplift your action. And I think if we can learn that, that would be a great thing. The other thing you said is about women maturing faster than men. I think that's the problem, is that people get that mixed up. There's a difference between, I think, confusing biological maturity with emotional and social maturity. Women mature faster than men on a biological level, but not necessarily on a social emotional level. And I think that's where we get things mixed up. Women be learning just like men are. And that's why a lot of times women are attracted to older men when they're younger, because they recognize that on a biological level, we're more mature than you guys. And we're seeking direction. And older men seem like they got it together. And we can learn from that. So I think we get confused with those two things. We don't know half of much or nothing when we are young either, just like y'all do. But y'all look at us like we do because we have matured on a physical, biological level than men do.